This is the Lions Main Podcast.
Welcome, Lions Main Podcast fans, to the preview for the Lions versus Rams this upcoming weekend. We're going to get right into the down and to the dirty, or as Drew would say, the down and the stinky. I see that we got some new captains for the season. Drew, fill the listeners in.
Yeah. So 5 guys that have already been captain before, and the 6th is new to being captain.
Okay.
Which is Hutchinson. Aiden finally got the nod as captain, and then the others were Goff, obviously, Amon-Ra, Penei Sewell, Anzalone, and Jalen Reeves-Maybin.
Okay, I like that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Aiden being the new captain?
And last year's it was Charles Harris was actually captain last year, which I did not know.
It's good to know that Aiden was voted as a captain. I mean, he's a really good player. It's good to know that he has the leadership skills and his teammates are seeing that.
Can't forget Anzalone. Anzalone is back as a captain. He one of the most underrated linebackers in the league.
Yeah.
Sometimes he pisses me off in the middle of the game, but other times he looks like a literal hero.
I think it's awesome that Hutch. I mean, hopefully this gives him like a bigger voice in the locker room, right? And he's like,
"Oh yeah,
is this year? What year is this trade? This year 3?
Year 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's stepping into that role, and like he's kind of like one of the last guys in our core, right? To eke out that extension. Obviously, he's only in year 3, but that's coming up. Maybe at the start of next year.
I think he's going to look like a Super Saiyan version of Waluigi this year, and he's going to get that massive contract extension next offseason because he's the last cornerstone piece that needs it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping he gets higher sack numbers this year. Last year he got he was there, he was in the backfield, but didn't kind of get the payoff. So I'm hoping,
Yeah. With all the addition of the pieces on the defensive line, right, that they can help supplement him to finally getting those sacks. So we've been here before. We got the Rams coming to Detroit, except this time it's a little different. Matt Stafford is coming back, and I know you guys shed tears the last episode that was published on Wednesday about how much you guys loved him, and he solidified your fandom for the Lions. But he's coming back, and he's coming with a vengeance after what happened in the playoffs last year. I have my initial thoughts on it, but what are you guys thinking? Are you guys afraid at all? You guys think this is an easy win? What are you guys' thoughts with the Rams coming this weekend? Pause.
Well, I hope the Rams don't come anywhere other than the field this weekend, but I do think that it'll be a really tough game. I think we'll win. I think we'll win by a little bit more than last year. I think last year, all the adrenaline, there was a couple plays that were missed. And I mean, let's be honest. No matter what happens with that defensive back group, it cannot be worse than the group last year. Look, those guys were pro athletes. They're way, 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 more advanced in their life than I am. They're making much more money. And no offense to Jerry Jacobs or Kendall Vildor, but I mean, what the hell is that? Cam Sutton out there. Clearly something was on his mind because you saw what he did in the offseason. But I think we win by. I'm going to call a score out 30-23. I think our defensive back group is a lot better. I think they're still going to move the ball, but look, they've got a solid defense, but they lost Aaron Donald. They just traded their best linebacker, Ernst Young, to the Titans. I can't see our offense getting shut down in that game at all. So I'm thinking 30-23. I think it's a good game, but a little bit nervous, but that's a win.
Tom Brady, he was on a panel a few weeks back, and they asked him who he thinks the number 1 title contenders are. He mentioned 5 teams, but the Rams were one of those 5. Do you think that we're underestimating their offensive capability and maybe overestimating how the improvements to our defense? I mean, our D-line is Aiden Hutchinson. Is DJ Reader, is he even ready to play on Sunday?
Yes, he's probably playing.
Well,
and I
good.
think
Well, that's good news then.
To alleviate your stress a little bit, Kane, I think their offensive line is pretty banged up actually right now. So that's even more help for our D-line. They should be able to make some plays.
Drew, you look like you got a lot to say over there, man. You look like you're burning to get it out. What's up?
I just found out that Jimmy G's suspended for PEDs. Suspended for 2 games. So Jimmy G's the backup for Stafford.
Oh, geez.
He started
He started with the Raiders, but he got benched. And Devontae Adams reportedly came out and
Zach
said
Wilson is still in the league, though. I mean, the dude's just gonna be a backup.
Fair enough.
No, they're. Have you guys seen the Rams defense? They look terrible.
It's young. It's a bunch of sophomores. That's what you call them, second-year players and rookies out there.
And Tre'Davious White. It's like
Right, Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious White. I mean, didn't he get let go by the Bills? I'm pretty sure he got
The
waived.
defense is
Yeah,
pretty
he did.
young.
Yeah.
Fair
They
enough.
did pick up Jared Verse and Brandon Fisk, who
I'm-
are extremely unproven.
I'm
But
just saying, if Tre'Davious White is that good, you don't get let go. Like,
yeah, he would be demanding. I don't know his contract, but he is somebody that would demand more money than what they're probably worth at this point in their career.
fair enough.
What I will say is I'm hoping with how good our offensive line is, and just to hit on these guys again, Brandon Fisk and Jared Verse, rookies coming in pretty good. I hope Penei Sewell and the rest of that line give them that welcome to the NFL moment.
Last thing I'll say about the Rams, Nakua is supposed to play. He's been injured for most of the preseason. But Sean McVay said he's
Yeah, and Cooper Kupp, when he played us last year, I don't think he was at full tilt. I think him and Puka are both full kilt. They also picked up Blake Corum. Some interesting news: Kyron Williams is returning punts. What does that tell you guys? Who do you think's number one running back on that team?
It's still Kyron.
It's Kyron.
I mean,
it's totally Kyron.
it's still Kyron. What the
That's
hell?
It's so wild.
It's still, it's still
Why-
Kyron.
You think, bro?
I
So
don't
the year
change.
that Cooper Kupp won the Triple Crown, he
yeah,
returned.
but he's the
punts.
reverse Jackie Robinson.
That's not a bad
Yeah.
thing.
So it's
at
like
all.
it means nothing. It means nothing. I think Blake Corum will. I mean, he's from a kind of a shit school. I don't know if he'll make an impact.
Yeah, he's not from a
We'll
great
see.
school.
I think
He's just a
he's
national
It
champion.
was the system. It was the Jim Harbaugh system that made him look good.
No, that old line at Michigan was next level. A bunch of 5-year seniors. So yeah, you're right. Blake Corum, trash. So
He's a system running back, just like Kyron Williams.
fair enough.
Oh my gosh.
We'd be remiss not to mention the fact that Stafford will be playing back in
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, and
So I do think that Cooper Kupp, the white Jackie Robinson, I think his days are behind him a little bit. I think he's going to be good, but I also think Puka is going to be really good this year. But I also think he's one of those guys that I'm waiting to see year two if he's able to kind of continue that dominance, or if he's going to be like one of those guys, a top 10 receiver, but not a top 5. I feel like last year at times he seemed like a top 5 receiver. So I am worried that they're going to carve us up a bit. However, I think we limit some of those like just BS explosive plays at like, where you're looking like there'd be 2 DBs 15
Yeah.
yards away from a receiver. And it's like, it literally looks like what George and I could do out there against one of those guys. You'd see us in the pads out
getting
there
torched.
doing the same thing.
So Jim, you're saying it's going to be
Yeah.
30-23. George, what are you thinking?
Yes.
I think it's going to be a shootout, and it's going to go deep. I think a high-scoring game. Let's go 28.
Okay, Drew, what do you think? Damn.
28-32. 28-32.
28-32.
He was thinking there for a while. George, are you going to be booing Stafford children?
I'm going to be screaming the boos. Screaming them.
Who was it that said famously, fuck them kids?
Bernie Mac.
Fuck them kids.
Hey, nice recollection there, George. And Drew, what are you thinking?
So I couldn't help but notice the line for the game is Lions minus 3.5. So I don't, I think I kind of agree. I kind of agree with George. I think it's going to be high scoring. I'm going to go 35-31 Lions. They cover the spread and send the Stafford.
I think this one is going to be an extreme shootout. I'm going 42-31 Detroit Lions. Okay, so Lions main fans, now we're about to introduce a new segment because of the new week, because we're actually getting into real football. Some of us are heavy gamblers, Jim and Drew. Not me and George. We're good people. But we're going to do a little competition. We're going to take some player prop bets over under for yardage. We're going to have a little draft. So Drew's going to go first this week.
Yeah, it's a little competition between the four of us, where there'll be some type of penalty for the loser at the end.
If Jim loses, he has to put a bet down for Michigan to win the national championship.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought we were going to do any bet ever, but based with the Lions, I didn't know it was going to be limited. Over under, okay. That changes what I'm going to do. Changes everything.
Over under yardage.
All right, Drew. How about you give him an example? What are you taking? You're the first up on the board. What
The example was I'm gonna take Amon-Ra over yardage. So that's 83.5 based on DraftKings. I'm taking the over. I think he's gonna literally torch the Rams. I think 83.5 yards is a joke. He's going for 100 plus.
What is he averaging? About 7 yards a catch? You think he's going to get over 10 catches?
I think you could easily. I think we're going to feed him.
Okay.
I think we're going to. We just talked about how we think it's going to be a high scoring game. How do you think it's going to get to high scoring?
I mean, I hope you're right, but I also hope you're wrong because it's you. So
who are they going to guard? Who are they going to put on Amon-Ra?
Waymo over 300. That's what it's going to be. Target number 300 for him. But no, so I'm going to go next. But my over under that I'm going to choose, I'm going to take the over on David Montgomery rushing 54.5. Sounds easy to me. Sounds like an easy dub.
Okay. Jahmyr Gibbs still
limited.
Still with the hamstrings, limited. I'm sure I think he's gonna be fine, but
yeah, that's a cakewalk. That's a cakewalk for me. How about you, Big Chungus?
Yeah, so Chunganator here. I am going to go with a little bit of a weird one. I'm going to go Jared Goff over 0.5 rushing yards. I don't think he's going to get sacked. If he does, I think he might get sacked once, and I think he'll have one random unathletic-looking scramble. Not dissing him. Again, he's much more successful than me, but Buddy is not exactly a mobile quarterback. But I do think he gets over 0.5 yards.
It's a good one. I like that. And then George, did you figure it out? Do you know what? Do you know what we're talking about now?
Hardly, but I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs over whatever his projected yards are. Higher
59.5.
Rushing or receiving?
Total. Is there a total?
Is there? Good question.
Ooh,
Let me see. Actually, let me go look.
Total.
Oh, there is actually.
What's more fruitful?
The over rushing plus receiving is 86.5.
George putting no thought into this. He's just saying.
Well, no, I wanted. I just think
it's like
Gibbs
his
is going to have
draft.
a good game. No. Gibbs is going to have a good game. Everybody thinks he's injured and Monty's going to be running up a check. Everybody thinks that, but Gibbs is popping off.
What is this over under for the combo?
86.5 per DraftKings. Shout out to DraftKings.
But also shout out to any other sports books that might want to sponsor us.
Exactly.
I like that. So all right. So in the future, just to clarify, are we gonna be able to pick the unders or the over unders for the?
Yeah, no, I won't kill you. I won't kill you for taking
Certainly.
the unders of the Lions.
I'm just gonna say, we've yet to see DB under this regime play well.
Yeah, well, save that for. Hey, I'll give you a tip. Save that for the Houston Texans week.
How many rushing quarterbacks are we?
Yeah. Luckily, Caleb Williams isn't Justin Fields. He does have the capability, but he's not a running back playing quarterback. Luckily, that's not the case. So
he might actually be a much better quarterback,
right?
But not be able to gash us all day on the ground. I think Justin Fields is like a nightmare matchup for the Lions.
Horrible. But that concludes our player prop bets and our preview for the Lions and Rams matchup. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next week.
This is the Lions Main Podcast.